Well, a decent night last night. What do we do? We started, 12 or 13 horses in a whole bunch of places. The DuQuoin Fair was rained out again. Now, they race in the afternoon. This is a giant fair in Illinois. And when it rains hard, it just washes the track away. Saturday, they were canceled, hoping to go Sunday. Sunday, they were canceled. No, today's Sunday. Saturday, they were canceled, hoping to go. Friday night, they were canceled. Saturday, they were canceled. Hopefully, they go today. If they go today, I don't know, they're 4 million races or something. They'll try and jam them in today, so hopefully Olympic Hopeful, wish her some luck today in DuQuoin. Ollie. We also had our newest boy, 5-run homer race last night, finished second in 159. Very similar trip to what I gave him in PEI. Maybe not as pretty, but very similar. Made front, controlled the race. Horse popped out of the 2-hole and kind of bushwhacked him down the backstretch and cleared him. And he ended up being beat 2 lengths. He paced 59-3, but raced well. Got to work on that third quarter speed. But I was very happy with what I saw. Exactly what we want to see. I'd like to see him race from off the pace next time. Maybe get away third or fourth and have him sprinting on the end of it. He's got some pop to him and some speed, that colt. Really happy with what I've seen from him, both when I drove him and again last night. What else? Yes, a little, I don't know whether he was flat or just racing against aged horses. And there's a horse that went in 53 in Northfield and tried at 56 last night. Obviously, I'd like to see him and have him a lot sharper going into the stake race next Sunday. Jason had said he had talked to the vet right after. He's coming out today, going to draw some blood, going to go all over the horse and see what's up. I didn't see a whole lot wrong mechanically with Yes last night, but we'll see what the vet comes up with. Again, I think a lot of it will be the all-important draw for Yes. Perfect draw would probably be somewhere we could put his nose on the gate and let him bounce out of there. 4-hole would be nice on a half-mile track. The rail's always good. I just don't know if he can snap right out of there from the rail, but we'll see. Let's just hope we don't get 6, 7, or 8. That would really suck. So, Yes, I would say let's give him a 6.5 out of 10 last night for effort and form. You be quiet, baby. Baby. This is becoming a common occurrence, Adeline. Anyway, hey, Ollie, stop it. What else? We had 2 horses at Kawartha. Marzank Hanover was second. I didn't talk to Kevin. I saw the line. I see that my boy Watch Avenue paced 57, which is a good mile for him. Yeah, don't worry about the blinker. Yeah, just turn anywhere you want in the road. It's free. What do you mean? What? What are we saying? Marzank Hanover was second. Watch Ab was 5th. Looks like a good mile, though. I'll be completely honest. For the people out there waffling on Watch Ab or not paying attention, James pulled me aside the other day and said, just race that colt 2 or 3 more times and turn him out. This is going to be a nice colt. He's got the right attitude. He said he's got lots of speed. James schooled him, and he jogged in the schooler. Now, last night, Clark Stacy drove him. I didn't see the race, obviously. I didn't see the race, but the mile and 57 obviously is impressive enough for me for a horse that isn't tight yet. Give him a couple more starts. And then I went to Georgian. Now, I have a little confession to make, and I wasn't going to say anything. So we have 8. We've been making these hobbles, right? And I told you they shouldn't break. And here's why. The hobbles themselves, the guts of the hobbles, the nylon, everything, rarely will that break. The problem is the pulley and the rope from the loops. So you have the loops like pacing hobbles, you have a rope that goes there, and then you have a pulley that they go through, right? It spins. So the pulley is cheap. I looked on Amazon, the pulley's about $8, and that's retail. The rope is worthless. And as soon as it gets a little fray, I've told everybody, as soon as they start to fray a little bit, stop using them. So I get to Georgian last night. Enduring Strengths hobbles are frayed, and so are Arvika's a tiny bit. So I don't use Arvika's hobbles. The rope's a different kind of hobbles, a little thicker rope. I said, all right, we'll use Arvika's hobbles on Enduring Strength first. We're not using Enduring Strengths hobbles. We have 8 sets that are almost ready to be picked up. Can you Google Bar Salary, see if they're open today? I have 2 sets of them in the trunk. And And the pulleys are in the trunk also, and they have ropes at the place that I left with them. I don't know if it's open though. Anyway, we have 8 sets of hobbles to pick up. So we're using and these are newish hobbles. These aren't like old dinosaur hobbles. So people had asked me, why do your hobbles break? Well, other people's hobbles break sometimes too, but we use them a little snugger on some horses than other people, right? A lot of wear and tear on them. So you got your cheap, crappy pulleys that get heated up, don't work well, cause a little fray on the ropes, and before you know it, those ropes, which aren't very good either, they break. So I bought rock climbing ropes that can obviously support a human, and probably a little bit more. Like these are top of the line rock climbing ropes. There's nylon inside. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And the pulleys were $53 American each. Best pulleys you could get. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the pulleys themselves, the crappy ones that come with the hobbles, they say they can support 150 pounds. 150 pounds. The ones we got, 7,000. I can lift up 3 horses with the pulleys and use the pulleys we have. So they shouldn't be burning out anytime soon. So anyway, long story short, I warm up enduring strength in a different set of hobbles. They're a little bit lighter, and I said, we use those hobbles. He was really hot. We opted to change his headgear because I thought he was behaved. I should have known. His father's definitely whispering in his ear right now that Angus Hall's coming out in him. He is hot, but he's trotting good. Bring him out in the track, score him down, he's good. Big front. I could have had him a little more under control, but I thought I didn't want to put him on the run. So I let him saunter along. I think they had us charted 28.58, 127.4, coming out of the last turn. You guys didn't see this because and the charter missed it. The judges missed it. I didn't bring it to their attention because I just thought it was obvious. Hobbles broke. The rope snapped in enduring strengths hobbles, and if you watch coming out of the last turn, I reach my foot down because now the hobbles, the pulleys, the guts of the harness have moved back, and there's a loop in the strap going back to the bike. I reach down and I grab the strap with my foot and I prop it up. He never put a step in the whole way down the lane, hung on to win last quarter 30-1, a mile and 58 flat, a big mile for enduring strength. Very happy with what I saw from him last night. We had a few grumblings about Fox Valley Shazam. I'll be the first to admit she's lost some velocity off her fastball, so to speak. There seems to be a disconnect from the speed that she had before. And honestly, I don't know why that is. She seems very content, happy to do her work. She seems to be growing, maturing mentally, but there seems to be... Hey, was there sucky back there? But there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect between the raw speed that she has, or that she had, and what she has now. So we're going to treat her up a little bit with some EPM medication. That is what we started Canadian Titan on. I think it really turned the page for that filly. Won't work on every horse. There's very minimal side effects. So I think we're going to try and treat up Fox Valley Shazam the same way. And see if she comes that way. A little bit off right front left hind. That left hind is the stifle. We've been painting that and working on it. That's going to be a physical maturity thing, but she's learning to go with it. The right front, I'm almost positive, is that knee. We're going to put a little blister on her knees, hocks, and stifles today, her and enduring strength, in preparation of their stake races coming up in about 7 to 10 days. So Fox Valley Shazam, yeah, she didn't have that giant kick that she had on baby race day, but she's doing it right, and I would ask for a little bit of patience when it comes to this filly. She's a smart filly, she's durable, she's well-bred. We already know the speed was in there. I'm not quite positive why she's missing fifth gear. It could be allergies. I don't see that in her nose, and I'm not sure that that's the answer, and I don't want to just throw that out there, every time a horse races for, it's allergies. I'm not going to do that. I'm not positive what the issue is. I can say wholeheartedly that, yes, if she had 5 gears in her transmission, she seems to be missing the fifth, but she's doing everything right in the other 4. So I'm almost positive that fifth. What does that mean for her? She's got a couple of more grassroots left. Can she sneak into the semifinals? She need a win or a second, and I need her. As I said, we're trying to make some adjustments, both with her physically, we're going to put a little blister on her. And again, we're going to start treating her with some EPM medication. And then Arvika last night, I don't want to keep making excuses. Arvika is having the worst summer of anybody. She had that decent start where she was for 2 wins, 2 seconds, and then completely fell apart when we sent her to New York. She's come back, continued on in her mediocre, less than mediocre, because she tried at 55 one night, 56, but last night I put her in a spot where if she had to make a mistake, she could. We were in a condition claimer. I wasn't going to baby her. I tell you, I was a little mad. The gate, I called the judges afterwards. If you watch the race, the starting gate itself hangs on to us for 3 or 4 lengths longer than it was supposed to. I thought the gentleman was calling a recall. I look at him. He closes the wings and takes off. He literally missed the start by 3-4 lengths, which you might say, well, it's not the end of the world. Kind of. Arvika's got some pretty good gate speed. Rather than crossing her over in front of them and coddling her, getting into the turn and letting her set herself up, I'm chasing her, trying to get around the 6. As soon as I check her getting into the first turn, she makes a break. Very frustrating. There's going to be some people wanting out of the horse. I think the global group, I'll make an offer to buy the shares in the filly. I like Arvika. I do believe I'm going to put her in the Harrisburg sale, but to give any money into her, she's going to have to race better. Flamborough's opening up, but as I said in the video last night, if Flamborough makes a stance and draws a line in the sand and continues on with this 19-year-old age, I'm not racing at Flamborough. I can't support a racetrack that cannot support racing. And that really is just the long and the short of it. I guess that we could go into a lot of political talk and jargon. I want to believe that Flamborough Downs is going to understand that they've made an error and rectify it one way or another, so that families can stand on the tarmac, go to the restaurant, and enjoy the racing experience at Flamborough. If that's not an option, the stable.ca will not be racing horses at Flamborough Downs this winter. So, and that would be a shame because Arvika gets around Flamborough very good. Anyway, in regards to Arvika, obviously I could have driven her easy. I didn't feel I had to going into the race. She felt like she warmed up okay. She's just in a real funk. And I know we've had some calls to sell her, and one gentleman said put her on gate. I'm not doing that. And I'm sorry, there's going to be disagreements amongst the groups on the trajectory of Arvika. I'm looking to maybe acquire some of the shares if people want to desperately, because I believe I'm going to gamble that filly will come around through the months of September and October, and I'll get paid off, I guess, a little bit from Arvika in the Harrisburg sale. Now, I might be wrong, and I'm not always going to be right. And the gentleman that said put her on gate might be 100% right. But at the end of the day, this is the path I've chosen, and this is the path that we're going to be going down with Arvika. So, that was Georgian. Then we went over to Hanover. Some tough racing, some hard-nosed racing at Flamborough. A little tougher than I'd like to see with Capistrano. I think Mario kind of used her a bit hard. This is a filly that hadn't raced in a month, and I'm not complaining. I've driven horses. It's hard for me ever to go on a video and make fun of the way anybody would have driven a horse. I've driven a horse every kind of bad my whole life. Yes, I've driven horses well, but I know what it's like to come off the track and know you made a mistake. I did it in PEI 2 weeks ago, and it's not a good feeling. Capistrano was second beat a nose. She made another, $5,000-$6,000. She did it the tough way. Not really what I wanted to see, but that's racing. And Inland Beach got a nice 2-hole trip, finished second. Again, Miss Brampton Beast, not her forte at all, first over, but I know Mario left with her and kind of got screwed up in the first turn, ended up landing down third. It's not like he could have got away fifth and been second over. I think that was just the way the race unfolded. Wiggle Delight again. Getaway fourth and have to come first over at the quarter pole with a filly that's been off 2 weeks. I'm not shocked that she got a little weak, but that's racing again. I mean, it's easy to formulate a plan. It's always, I watch a lot of mixed martial arts, and Joe Rogan always said, and everybody always says when they're training, everybody comes into the ring with a game plan until you get punched in the head. And everybody comes in behind the gate with a game plan, but everybody does, and those 8 game plans can change quite a bit given the complexity and the trajectory of the start of the race. And to land down fourth at Hanover and be forced first over, you have an option. Stay in and get shuffled to seventh or come first over. It looked like Mario was going to clear. Bruce Richardson kept him out with his toes. And then again, down the backstretch, he cleared. But if you remember the start at Mohawk, that's a little immaturity too. Two things: a little immaturity and a little bit of fatigue. This filly had raced in 2 weeks, coming off the virus, and also she loses herself on the front end. She gets to the front and she waits a little bit. There's no time to wait when you got a quarter of a mile left and you've just been used hard. She raced great, got beat, 3/4 of a length, half a length. We raced 5 fillies last night. We had a winner. Need Your Opinion was fantastic. Made front, controlled the race. I didn't see the race, but I saw the line, and it looks like she had her way with them and jogged in 59. Inland Beach was a close second, beat 3/4 of a length. Capistrano was a closer second, beat a nose. Then a Wiggle the Light, third, beat half a length. Miss Brampton Beast was the biggest loser of the night. She was third, beat 4 lengths. So a great night to be had all around. We raced 13 horses. We didn't miss the board at Hanover. We had a win, a fourth, and a break at Georgian. We had a second and a fifth at Kawartha, and we had a second in PEI. The only horse to miss a check last night was the most unlikely one at 6-5, and that was Yes. So a great night, a great Saturday night all around. You may have noticed I'm driving. I'm on my way to the airport. I'm going to catch my flight to the Poconos. We have tonight Libero Hanover, Willpower Fashion, and who's the other one? Libero, Willpower Fashion, Sebastian Yu. I think Sebastian Yu is sitting on a big mile tonight. Going to make a little equipment change with him. You'll notice that step he put in the other day. Sebastian Yu hates his hobbles on tight. Hates them. And hates his hobbles on tight. And they were tight, a little tight the other day. And when Aaron put him in gear, you could see him hit those hobbles at the length and then reach up and touch himself and get out of gear. It really cost him some momentum. So what we're going to do, and it's something that it's made sense mentally for 20 years when I was training trotters, that if you put a piece of elastic in the hobbles, it would help them. Never has worked. I've done it 15 times and it's never worked. But it's never worked for the wrong reasons. And I think with Sebastian Yu today, those elastics will allow him, when he hits the end of the hobble rope, rather than it grabbing him, which helps some horses, it will stretch even more. And I think that will be the key. We're going to try that. We're going to let his hobbles out a little bit, put a little elastic in his hobbles, and I think you'll see a much better race out of Sebastian Yu. I'm hoping tonight we're going to need a first or a second for him to maybe sneak into the finals. I don't know if he can, but one thing about Sebastian Yu that I'm almost positive of, is going to be a real nice horse in 2020. This is a colt that showed blinding speed with that win in by a million lengths at the Meadows, and then bounced out. And he behaved himself in Philadelphia, but had less pop, and then behaved himself the other day and got out of gear in the last turn on Aaron. So this is a colt that's mentally getting there, physically is already there as a powerhouse, and I think he's going to be a very nice horse in 2020. Willpower Fashion, I'm going to cut him loose today. I'm going to drive very hard. I think he can make it in. I could be wrong. I think a win could potentially get him in to the finals of the Stallion Series. Very disheartened with his break last week. One, because I was sitting in a pool watching it in PEI, and obviously I always feel bad when I'm doing nothing and mistakes are made on the track. And two, because Willpower Fashion has a lot to offer and never got an opportunity last week. Libero Hanover, I'm going to drive very similar to the way Corey Callahan did. Take him back, sit on a helmet, hunt, hope that he pops down the lane. The Poconos is not a closing friendly track usually, but Libero Hanover, don't want him near the front tonight. I don't want him disheartened going into what could be the last race for him of the year, which would be next week, or whenever the finals of the Stallion Series. He's sitting 5th or 6th right now. I think he will make it into the finals. So that's today. Tomorrow I'm in the Camden Fair in Ohio. We're going to race Overdue Mission, A.L. Sun, and Susie K. I was just told that Susie K and Overdue Mission are in together. My goodness. I don't own any Susie K, and I own a big chunk of Overdue Mission, so I think I have to drive Overdue Mission. We'll see. We'll see when I get to the Camden Fair. Tuesday, we have the sale on. I'm going there to look at a lot of babies. Not a lot to do Tuesday afternoon. Sometimes things happen. Races, but it's in the opposite direction of the sale, I'm told, so I won't be able to race him. Wednesday, I'm at the Meadows with our fillies. Who are our fillies? Just for Me and You, Path of Totality, and Harness AM. They all drew bad, and they all got in tough. It's going to be a long day and a hot day, and hopefully we can miss the rain on Wednesday. Thursday, I don't know what I'm doing yet. We're going to see if Spirit of Dio ends up entering Indigo. Maybe a couple of other horses at Mohawk. If not, West 52nd is in West 52nd is in Columbus. The one problem I have is I was looking for a flight home from Pittsburgh to Toronto, and they were astronomical after the races at the Meadows. So I guess maybe I'll go back to Columbus and fly out of Columbus, but I'm not paying $700 to fly from Pittsburgh to Toronto. I'd rather hitchhike. It's a 5-hour drive. So we'll see what happens on Wednesday and Thursday. You may see me back here in Toronto, or you may see me drive West 52nd. Either way, I'll be home Friday morning for sure. We get some horses qualifying and schooling. Oh no, not Friday. I'll be home Friday, but the schoolers aren't on Fridays, they're on Tuesdays. We want to get White Tiger under control. I want to see when the consolation is for Philip. I should have known this before I did the video, but I'll see when the consolation is, and we will set him up to race without hobbles, or at least with belly band hobbles out long. I believe in Philadelphia. So a lot going on as usual right now. My focus today is get to the Poconos, race the horses tonight, and then off to Ohio. Really excited to see Tuesday, first sale of the year, see what goes on Tuesday. I sent a video out. This video will be attached in the video about the sales, not just talking about our horses that are heading out, but talking about horses that I'm looking at. I gave you my top pick of the sale, a little bit of a surprise to everybody, I'm sure, when you look at the breeding. But there's a lot of horses that didn't have videos that I want to look at in person also. So really excited about the sale Tuesday, really excited about what's going on this week, and very, very happy overall, I guess, with what took place last night. Anyway, that's it. That's your recap for Saturday, and a little bit of a calendar of what's coming up in the coming week here at thestable.ca. Thank you, Addie. We'll talk to you guys soon. Probably not tonight, unless something great or bad happens. But